you mentioned something that now what the election of 2027 will be about economics.
Yeah.
Like who can deliver Kenyans from this problem, because the main thing that is really affecting people is the economy. And one of these people is very smart in the economy. Like let's say Professor Fred Ogola is very smart. Economically, like the way he strategizes things, even the way he says them, you see some sense in it. So do you think that if Professor Fred Ogola just decides to have his own stand and come out clearly, because he have not come out clearly to tell people what he wants, do you think he stands a chance considering the economics of the country?
You see, the greatest challenge that we have as a country is that we realize that we are emotionally attached to our tribe, religion, and even a political leaning, to the point that truth and justice become a secondary consideration. That is why you realize that even people within around the president cannot tell him the truth. So I believe people like Professor Fred Ogola is someone I closely know. And if given the opportunity, he'll have to turn around the economic transformation of this country. We have seen what he has done in Rwanda. You know, the economic developments within Rwanda, those are the economic policies from Professor. But I also feel that he needs to work with other opposition political figureheads.
They need to join hands.
They need to join hands because, you know, this thing, you cannot go as a lone ranger, because you need resources, you need airtime, you need mobilization skills. So I feel that he needs to work with other like-minded Kenyans so that they send William Ruto home, as they say.
Yeah, they say. Because, I've asked that because I heard what was it? I think it was Martha Karua, if I'm not wrong. Martha Karua said that he can work with anyone. And their main objective is not like everybody wants to become the president in that coalition. They can sit down and talk and then say that now we are taking this guy. Now they do election by themselves. And they elect one of them and say that now they support one of them. And these guys, all these people, they're around 10, 12. If at all, maybe they come together and then they decide that, okay, because we have got Jimmy Wanjigi, we have got all these brains are different. And everybody, they are thinking differently. So suppose they've decided that now the biggest problem that we have here is on the issue of economics. And now looking at all these people, we don't have anybody who is smart economically. Now that is now where people like Professor Fred Ogola comes in. If they decide that now they want someone who can deliver Kenya economically, they say that, okay, let us support Fred Ogola. Now the problem comes now whereby they don't want to work together. Just like you said, Lone Ranger. Do you think a Lone Ranger can go? Of course, I know that we are very smart, we can do these things, but do you think that you can manage things by yourself?
I want to tell you, Boniface, if the opposition will not be united, facing William Ruto in 2027 will be a Herculean task. They'll meet their Waterloo in that morning when we will be heading to an election. Because William Ruto exposed his political underbelly the moment he let go of the mountain. So without the Mount Kenya region, I want to tell you that William Ruto is a nobody. So, and this is why we really saying that the opposition figureheads really need to come together. Because when they come together, they'll have to work together. And if they will have to work together, then that will be the beginning of unity. And that is the unit of purpose that I'm really talking about. If they unite, against William Ruto, I'm very certain that it will be very easy to defeat him. And, you know, as you're aware, William Ruto has been a candidate at the International Criminal Court. So he understands the repercussions of rigging an election. Number one, he knows that Kenyans don't want him. They have rejected him there before and even invaded parliament because of his poor policies. So he understands that rigging elections will have far-reaching consequences. Yeah? So, of course, he can rig the elections, as he might say, but now will he have the legitimacy to rule? Yeah? People will have to go to the streets. And he knows the consequences of dealing with the demonstrators. I've said that he has been a candidate at the ICC. And so killing Kenyans is going to be an option because he knows ICC is waiting for him. So I think that what he tried to do is to divide the opposition to ensure that they don't unite against him. And because if they unite against him, then most probably they'll take him home the earliest time possible. Yeah.
Now, the issue of the SHI and SHA, the new healthcare.
Yeah.
The Auditor General exposed something, and they are telling us the issue with the 1.3 trillion and 4.2 trillion. So how can these people tell us that they don't know where 1.3 trillion went to? And then William Ruto is trying to insist that new funding, the SHA is working. And I think someone exposed that this issue of SHA is not even controlled by Kenyan government. What do you have to say?
You see, the greatest challenge that we are facing as a country is corruption. Everyone is stealing left, right, and center upon face. So, initially, it was the belief in this government that the Social Healthy Authority, that fund was to be funded by Kenyans. And that was a misconception because less than 10% Kenyans are subscribing to that fund. So I feel that if this government was really serious about the Taifa Care, about the SHA that they are talking about, then I think they ought to have funded it up to 70%. Then Kenyans will fund the remaining percentage. But now, you see, now here comes individuals, and now they see this fund as a cash cow to enrich themselves. And I think that we don't have enough regulations, we don't have enough legal frameworks within this country to curtail corruption. See, people are jailed, people are caught today, and the next day you see them in the streets. So I really think the government might have miscalculated on the whole idea, because I saw private hospitals are just going against this, say that they not be taking in this SHA. So I feel that the government needs to revert the old model of NHIF. Because that was working.
It was working.
That was working.
And nobody was complaining.
Nobody was complaining. But why introduce something new and each and everyone is complaining? So I believe that we have a long way to go as a country, because each and every policy that is brought on board by this regime is failing. Look at the university funding model; it has failed. Look at this SHA, it's failing. Look at the housing thing; it's failing. So I think that there is a problem somewhere, and it's either William Ruto has not allowed those with the capacity to work, has not allowed them to work. Say that he's micromanaging them. He's doing things. He's doing everything, which is not the right thing that we can do as a country.
But he's a PhD holder. So what do you expect from a PhD holder? Now, just to sum up, this issue of the 120, let me call it 120 million, because he said that he's going to give 20 million. And then after 20 million, he's going to give, talk to his friends to give 100 million. And then on top of that, they're going to take 17 acres of land from the KDF and then give the pastor to build his church.
I think our president is an agent of doublespeak. He is the same gentleman who said that we should not be contributing churches. Is he preaching water and taking wine? Drinking wine. That's a question that we are asking ourselves. I think that the president is going overboard, and is doing that against the backdrop of cries from Kenyans of failed economic policies. Kenyans are hanging from tight economic ropes. So I really think that that is not good for the country. You saw the other day I was watching news and I saw students, some young kids from the northeastern part of the country learning under trees. You can imagine what 100 million can do. How many classrooms?
Even 20 million is much
how many
better
classrooms can be built? So I feel that how we have misplaced priorities as a country. And William Ruto actually was initially a nice guy. He was a very sharp gentleman. I don't know what happened in between. Because, he was elected on a platform to transform lives from their economic transformation agenda. That is the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. But now the same people who projected him to power are the same ones who are going to send him home if he's not keen enough.
But William Ruto he said that he's a product of giving. So I think he's a very good giver. I can say that he's a very good giver.
He's a very good giver, but I think to me that's it's a misplaced priority.
And don't you think that these things sometimes normally come out of pressure, whereby you find that you've gone somewhere and then your presence makes people feel like you need to give them something. So for you to avoid a lot of issues, now it makes you promise what you know that you cannot deliver.
But as the head of the country, you see, a lot is expected of him. But now it doesn't really add up going to a particular area or a particular region. And you give while you leave others, so while you leave the rest, it doesn't really add up.
I think all these people that are allowing William Ruto to lie to them should go for the benchmarking at Bishop Lai's church.
That's why I said that we are emotionally attached by our tribe and religion, and you realize that truth and justice become a secondary consideration. And you find that those around the president cannot tell him the truth. But last time I saw that Pastor Lai.
Pastor Lai, Bishop Lai.
Bishop Lai. He was just
really
very
cooked.
Christ.
Tell your neighbor you are a thief.
That was good of him. And I think the president took the message home. And we need people like that. This country.
But how many are they? That is the question. How many are they? How many of them can just stand and now tell the president the truth indirectly on his face?
We can number them. They are just numbered. A very few numbers.
Very few numbers.
Okay.
Maybe your last statements as we wind up.
What I want to say is that this is my clarion call, especially to Kenyans, as we are approaching the elections of 2027. We really need to be careful on the kind of characters that we elect, so that we don't elect chatterlands, we don't elect crooks into office. Because these are people who come up with economic policies for our country. Currently, we are reeling from an economic downturn because of the poor leaders that are in place, because of the poor economic policies of our leaders. So I really want to urge Kenyans to be extra careful on the kind of leaders that we elect, because they have our future at hand. Boniface.
Wow. Thank you very much for coming around, and I really appreciate it for your time. Hopefully we will meet before the end of the week once again, or maybe next week if things goes on well. But I would like us to talk about Chebukati'S burial, either before or after. It will be very nice, because I know a lot of people right now because Wetangula told people that they should attend the burial. I don't know whether he sensed that there will be fire in the mountain, but where there is fire, where there is smoke, there must be fire.
There must always be fire.
Where there is smoke, there must always be fire. And for mine is very short. If we are meeting for the first time, please don't forget to take a minute, click the subscribe button. You can also like, you can also share, and drop me a comment at the comment section. Tell me where you're watching this video from, and how these videos are watching, and how you are getting these videos from. Which platform are you watching them from? If you are watching them from a different platform, go to YouTube, then search Havana Media. They'll take you there, and then please click the subscribe button. That is the only way you can join this family. And until we meet again in the next video, if it is possible, I have been your host, Boniface Awino. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my brother.
Thank you.